Why do people start seeing the number 369 frequency after our energy work? Why do people start seeing visions behind their eyelid after our energy work? You can discover the secret by checking our profile. Hello everyone.
Hello. Welcome to our live broadcast.
Live broadcast. Can you hear?
Yay. Everybody, can you hear us out there? Can you hear us? Please give us a number 1. Well, there's Janise in the background. Janise, can you hear us? Yeah?
Okay, good.
Okay, great.
Great. So
our topic today is the wildness of a black hole and the magic abilities that you could have or access to get into that black hole and use it to your ability, or just to find out more about it.
Oh, hi, Lydia. Hi. Yes,
hi,
Lydia.
Okay.
Hi. Can hear you. Oh, great. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Wow, amazing. Wow. It's actually first time our live podcast.
Second.
Oh, in Japanese. Hi.
Japanese people,
hello. Oh, sorry, today only English. We do live streaming only English. Hi. So today's topic. Actually, last week I decided, I will talk about black hole experience. Experience. Then today just happened. I asked Janise to do live streaming together.
Okay. Yeah, great.
Yeah,
she's so flexible, and the universe always opens up her schedule anytime we can use her, right?
Yeah. Only this time she had time.
Yeah. Well, I called her the other day and I asked her, hey, do you have time at this time? And she was like, actually, this is my only free hour.
Oh,
so, yeah. Perfect.
Wow, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, nice. So Janise is a very wonderful person who does Akashic readings, and she has her own website where she's doing 10-step programs and all kinds of wonderful things, removing marks. She's just amazing, phenomenal woman to work with, and anybody out there that would like to have Akashic readings or find out more about your life purpose or anything like that, that's where you're going to go to. She's our main hub that we like to go to when we're looking for those kind of answers. Okay.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! There she is.
There I am. I'm your main hub.
Yeah,
cool.
You are our main hub for the Akashic records. Ba-bing. Yeah. Oh. No, it's nice. So nice that you're here. Nice that you had this one extra hour in your day that opened up for you to be here with us on our podcast and to talk with us. And I guess that you and NOCCI are going to be sharing your information and knowledge about black holes and things that work with black holes and around black holes and through them, and what they mean and what they don't mean and if they could mean. So we're just going to clear up all the mysteries that we can right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't even know what I was doing. I just came on. So let's see.
You knew exactly what you were doing. You were getting yourself in trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So where would you like to start off? So NOCCI had a dream, or
It was not dream actually. People say, just dream. Actually not dream for us, right, Janise? Like an experience. We live there. We live in another dimension.
For that time.
Yeah. So, and
so for you regular people out there, it's a dream.
It really is more common than we think to have astral experiences and remember them. Right. Not everybody does remember their astral experiences, but if you have what you think is a dream, but there are certain things, and I just literally finished interpreting a dream for someone else where they had an astral experience, and it was, you will see things like just white light all around you, or people are speaking to you telepathically, or you see a fog. So there are some markers that you can look at to see if your dream was actually an astral experience.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but isn't really any dream, once you leave the physical body awareness, you're in a presence of the etheric anyways, right?
Yeah, and I guess it's just like so dreams, let's say if we can define dreams as something that are meant to help us grow through and do healing around it, whereas a lot of times astral experiences are just memories of what we're doing in another dimension or how we're helping other beings in another dimension.
Yeah.
So you think, well, isn't it more, let's say, more along the lines that, okay, in these parallel worlds that we have that are existing all in the now, right? There's another aspect of ourselves in these parallel realities, right? And so we're tuning into that frequency in the dream state, which is usually a higher frequency to tap into once we leave the physical body, because we have so many attachments to this dense energy, let's say, right?
Yeah, I need you to explain that to everybody that I talk to, because you explain it very well.
Oh, okay.
And I think like looking at what happened with NOCCI, that's absolutely what she was tapping into. So
Right.
it was really interesting to find out what she's doing on the other side.
Yeah, because my past experience, just for a second, is that dreams, maybe you can correlate with this, is that the dreams are actually, they're not words or pictures in such, that's that the higher level information is sending down a frequency, and it doesn't actually mean that that's exactly what it's saying when you see a picture or a situation. It's just only what your mind is interpreting through your language and your understanding in the physical form.
Yeah, well, so if it's more of a dream, then it's definitely symbolic, and you're meant to look at that symbolically. So if you see in a dream, oh, my sister died, that doesn't mean your sister is dying, right? It's symbolic. It's like some piece of something that's related to your sister is leaving your energy, right? Which is typically a good thing. But for astral travel memories, it's not symbolic, and it won't seem like it's symbolic. It will seem like it's very real, and you'll have very real conversations and the things that you see.
And feel too, like body touch and taste and everything, like
More
a real
tangible.
Yeah.
So how do you decipher for yourself a dream? Like, well, I don't know, you walk your dog, or you go swimming in a pool, or people are watching you go to the bathroom, or I don't know, whatever the weird dreams are, and an astral projection for people. What is that? How do you define that for yourself?
Well, like I was saying, does it seem really symbolic and like odd things are happening? Like your sister just says a phrase that's out of the blue, and yeah, you see your dog digging a hole in the ground, and you pull up a purple carrot. Like this is kind of like what I would think would be a dream.
Yeah.
But in the astral, you're usually floating or flying through space. You're encountering, well, at least in NOCCI's case, she's encountering a lot of spaceships and beings that are very different and that are just not symbolic. So that kind of thing, I would just, it seems very easy to see the difference between the two of them.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like my student started doing like a astral projection.
Projecting.
Then they like report me, NOCCI, it was not dream. Oh my God, what happened to me? Then I said, you went to the another dimension. So congratulations. so people easily to understand, recognize this is not dream. Yeah, like this, right?
But I've experienced where I was flying a lot of the times, or like one dream I would be, I was actually watching jets take off and fly, and then I actually started to do this. For me, that was just a dream. To me,
Yeah, maybe dream.
but
Yeah.
But I don't see when you say it's astral projecting. I could feel myself flying. I could feel myself uplifting like a
Yeah.
Tinkerbell, and I could, imagine myself moving around. So for me, that was just a dream. I didn't see that like an astral projection. I mean, it was strange that I could fly outside of a plane or that I would get onto a ship. And I kind of think that those were interpretations for maybe spaceships or,
But
different
it was
crafts.
dream, I think. Yeah.
There's also this in-between place, right? Where you begin to, as you described, leave your body. And let's say you start the night by just astrally projecting. But then there's a cycle in the night where you definitely need dreams to help you heal. So then you could sort of be in this in-between space where the astral travel is turning into a dream. And so you're kind of like flying because you were astral traveling, but then it's like, okay, well, it's time for a healing dream. So then you start to dream about something else. Like planes are often about being on a new journey. Sometimes if there's planes crashing, it's about coming down to earth and how difficult that was for you to meet the density of the earth. So so it could very well have been kind of a mixture between the two.
So, but the one thing I would like to, someone left a comment about having fear about being paralyzed and stuff. And the real thing is that you shouldn't feel fear. You should embrace that, because the dream is all you, right? You're creating all the symbols, you're creating all the images, whether it's your sister or a dog or anybody else. You're interpreting these frequencies and giving them images so that you can relate to it, but it's still just you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
that's one of the biggest things to overcome when you look at your own dreams is thinking that the dream is about somebody else. Now, there are people, and I can do this too. Probably everybody can do it, but we do sometimes dream about other people and messages for other people. But most of the time, we have to look at it and say, this is about me. This is about my experience. This is about my healing, instead of this is a prophecy for my sister.
Right. And so, but just so we can get it started. So what would you suggest to somebody who has fear in a dream? I know NOCCI experienced where she has paralysis and she can't move, and she also had fear. So how did you overcome your fear, NOCCI?
Yeah, just actually when I get sleep paralysis, I try to raise my vibration. Then I start seeing another high vibrational how do you say, I can access to the high vibrational dimension, because the one day I had an experience, sleep paralysis. That at the time I started hearing like a Japanese chanting, like a from this year. Then I thought, oh my god, what happened to me? It's so scared. Then I couldn't move my body. Then I was scared. Then I met the low vibrational entity in another dimension. Then I came back to the third dimension. The next day, also same things happened. I started like a sleep paralysis started to me, and I started listening hear the Japanese chanting starting again. Then I thought, okay, let's raise my vibration. Then I raised my vibration to think about happy things. Then suddenly I went to I projected like an angelic dream, like a golden light, and a couple was kissing in front of me. Then I woke up and I felt like angelic, energy presence. Then I realized that we project, our eyes are projector. So
Okay, but
yeah.
also so actually how would you if you know and somebody has paralysis, how would you try to get out of that, Janise?
Yeah, so I think just knowing that people who experience sleep paralysis, it's often a really good sign that they're a channel, not only are they a channel, but a trance channel,
Wow.
because it's like your body remembers, and of course your spirit side remembers that it's okay to be out of body. It's okay to be connected with all of your parts. So then, but then when we're kind of in that other in between state, we do get scared because we're like thinking, well, I'm a body, I'm supposed to be able to move. And when you don't have that contact right away, it is scary. But I like what you do, NOCCI. You project the feeling that you want, and that's a great way to get out of that. But just kind of reminding yourself, oh, I'm a spirit being and I'm living in a body. This is okay. Like when you start to wake up and feel that you can't move, just get into the practice of talking to yourself and telling yourself that everything is okay.
Yeah, and my clients also start doing, like a similar experience. Then they also try to raise their vibration. Then they said also, like as NOCCI said, the three paralysis was not so scary. Just like I could, release from this, how to say, scare experience. So yeah. That's cool.
And one thing that you could remember too is that when we're in an experience like that, is to reassure yourself, like Janise said, is say, I'm in a dream, I'm in control, I contain everything within me, I'm just contained me inside of my dream. And because I can't move or I can't talk, doesn't need for me to go into a panic state. It just means that I need to allow this to take place and feel it, just don't choose to just feel it, choose to observe the moment and not choose to panic, because panic and excitement is the same energy. It's just attached with a negative belief.
I love that. Panic and excitement, same energy.
Same energy, just.
And one thing also, when I get sleep paralysis, I always, try to raise my vibration, but I'm always asking Archangel Michael to cut the cord. Please help Michael. Then Michael helped me too. Then my client also happened. My client said when she had a sleep paralysis, she saw like a Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper, yeah.
Grim Reaper. Then she asked Michael, help me. Then Michael, like Grim Reaper.
Yeah, came and took the Grim Reaper away.
Yeah, away. And also one lady said she saw demon too.
Demons.
Yeah. Then also Michael, removed this.
Yeah. So basically, what NOCCI is trying to say is that if people are out there and you're listening, you should, if you work with guides or you work with angels or you work with any kind of spirit support system, then if you can remember to call out to them. And in the beginning, it's not easy because it's something unusual and you can tend to fear a little bit off from the situation. But if you have a strong feeling that you're always supported, then you know that your angels got your back and the situation isn't going to overwhelm you because it's contained within yourself. So in this dark moment, we can just move right over into the black hole. What do you think?
Black hole, yeah.
Let's go from demons to black hole.
Demons to the darkness.
So dark.
It's a good darkness. There's actually, demons do good things, right? They help us look deeper within ourselves and experience awaken ourselves to be more connected. And
sometimes.
Yeah. I think there's always a situation where you can have it support you or not support you, and it's up to you to choose. So I think demons are just a way to say it's something that we fear. We don't think we know how to overcome the situation, so we try to label it as something bad, but it's not necessarily bad. It's a perception thing. So black holes. Okay.
Black. So today's topic is black hole experience. As Janise said a little bit, about black hole. Yeah, but my experience, it was like two years ago. Yeah, November 2022. It was when I was sleeping on the bed. Suddenly, I couldn't move my body. Then like a universe, and with Andromeda Milky Way, like a
Andromeda.
like this, yes, like behind my
This back piece.
yeah, like this. And so showed up in behind my eyelid suddenly. Boom.
When your eyes were closed.
Yeah, when I was sleeping, a little bit half sleeping, and showed up suddenly. This Andromeda Milky Way. Then I thought, oh my God! Then, but my soul jumped into this black hole.
You jumped into
my physical body was on bed.
Yeah, of course.
And like shaking, like like Avatar movie, in the capsule.
Okay.
Like my body was like shaking. Then I see that like a universe, stars everywhere. Then I was like a human shuttle.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You can say
human shuttle.
Like a rocket shooting.
Rocket. That I saw satellite and planet. That I thought, maybe this is from Elon Musk, like X satellite. I saw satellite. Oh my God! And then suddenly, changed the scene. I was on somewhere, like in Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was walking, but my leg was very heavy. Then I thought, okay, this is not real.
Not a normal Earth gravity or something.
Yeah, exactly. Then I thought, okay, I'm maybe in my dream, I thought. Then, I was in the exhibition hall. Then I met my mother. And after that, I decided, okay, I go to meet Eric. Then suddenly I jumped into the sky and space again
into the darkness.
And like a human shuttle. Then again, like another planet.
Or another
Earth.
Yeah,
It looks like
density.
Earth. Density. Then I met him, but he was like a high school student. And I didn't recognize that it was him, because behind his, like a back and a different version of him. Then I woke up, on my bed, and oh my God, I was in another. What? I thought, what? Oh my God! Then I thought, I want to go again. Then I closed my eyes again. Showed up this, Milky Way, Andromeda Milky Way. Again, I jumped into. Then when I'm moving, transporting another Earth, I decided, okay, next I want to meet her. Then I met her in another dimension. Just, I could set.
You could set the
intention to meet people.
So do you think that when you were jumping through a black hole, or what do you feel?
Yeah, this time was very special. I use this black hole. Then usually when I go to another dimension, do like astral traveling, I don't use black hole. Just I go, then I experience interdimensional, travel, and I meet another version of him to, clear the entity from him or from my client in another dimension. Usually I meet people's other
parallel awareness.
But this my experience of black hole jump, is just special.
Well, it's your experience, so every one of your experiences are yours and special all the same.
No, I mean that it was only one time experience, one night experience, like a one night experience. Jump into the black hole.
So
portal,
Lydia's asking if you think that a black hole is a portal.
Is she asking me that, or
no? Just in general. We can ask you that. Yeah, Janise, what do you think?
Janise is very so expert of Galactic.
Janise is our expert of black holes since this afternoon at 5:30.
Okay.
Galactic,
take the pressure off. You can lie here. I expect lying to look wonderful.
Janise is like expert of galaxy.
What are you trying to say? Galactic what?
Galactic
Information.
channeling and information and
That's why we call her.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I was just thinking about this earlier.
Mhm.
I'm the kind of person that I don't go seek answers necessarily on just for no reason. I don't know. But when someone asks me, I guess what I'm saying is I'm not super curious. Like I know these things exist, but I don't question them. I just don't. But then when Nochi asked me about it, I thought, well, I mean, I don't know anything about it. Let me tune in and find out. So if you say like to that extent, okay, I'm an expert. I can tune in and find out answers. But
yeah, but that's what you are, as an expert, to tune in, and then whatever the question is. So we asked you about black holes, and today you're an expert on black holes. Perfect.
okay. And so they are a type of portal, and that's why you're using them, Nochi. It's a new way for you to go to certain places, like certain coordinates. It's a new way that you're being shown that you use. But the information that came through yesterday was that this is work that you're doing on the other side. It's important work, but it's not the Earth mission work.
So is it more the work that you're saying? Is it something that she's going in as a warrior and fixing things, or is she going as a healer, a light worker to go in and help people in other dimensions and other timelines? How did you interpret that?
You'll have to remind me because I don't
Well-
remember everything, but I do remember that she's part of a group that is sharing information and knowledge and traveling to different places that are not as tuned in, or like the Earth dimension is not as tuned into these places.
Right.
And so there's information gathering happening in order to make for sure that beings get distributed to the places where it is in alignment for them to be distributed as changes are coming.
Well, changes are all here right now. It's just aligning.
Changes.
Yeah, it's like, how do you talk about that when we know that time isn't really a thing, but we are experiencing it on Earth?
The appearance of it is happening. Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting thing. It's like a strip of film, from a movie, and our lives are this long strip, and we are. If you're someone like Janise or Nochi, you can tap in like consciousness does, and you can go into different moments because we all have, like, let's say one day is a frame of film that consciousness can go into those moments, which are basically little black holes, and you can go in also, like, to remember the past. So like when you go into the past and you remember when you were 10 years old and something happened, you're actually going into a black hole to access information, and then you're bringing it back to this now moment and then utilizing it. Does that make sense?
You're so good at explaining things.
Yeah, what's really interesting, we were talking about people that have challenges, that you were working with them. And what I was thinking about is, so what happens when somebody goes into the past is that they tear open the frequency of now and they put this extra shit in it, right? And then it's like they bring an anchor with them to the now moment, and then they're holding this anchor and they're trying to figure out, why do I have a problem? Or people will dig a hole talking about their past and their problems, and then they get way at the bottom and they go like, okay, so now how do I get out of here? And you go like, well, you just spent like an hour telling me about all the worst things, making a really low, dense, hard vibration and a pattern for you to get out of. And it just makes it so much better to just jump in the black hole, go where you want to go, and feel that wonderful feeling. So I think black hole travel, we could call it today, from our experts here, is kind of like the best way to get out of a problem, because as soon as you leave that frequency, you move into a whole new space, and you can create in this new now moment. And everything in the past, once you just change one little thing, the whole thing is different from the past. So you could make your whole past life new again, even if you were suffering. If you just changed your perception and said, wow, that all supported me and I benefited in this way, you would project yourself from the now moment into a much higher frequency. Don't you agree?
So yeah, I mean, so and is that what NOCCI is doing? Like, is that part of her mission on that other side, is to maybe get rid of these anchors so that people can't go and dig themselves down into a hole and
Well,
keep
that's
that
possible.
anchor.
Looks like she has a thought.
I remember that when I met his another version of Eric behind the black hole, he was fighting with other student. Only he was naked and like a oh my god, yeah.
Sounds like a nightmare.
I fight better. I fight better when I'm
But
naked.
at the time, he was suffering from pain. Nobody, no one find out his cancer. For 6 months, he he visited to many doctors, but he couldn't find out.
Yeah, no, nine doctor
Nine
specialists,
doctors.
3 hospitals.
He was dying
one-
at home.
One
At the time,
oncologist.
I started traveling another dimensions. Then I tried to remove negative energy from him. We couldn't meet each other for 6 months, but he was dying. I tried to remove his negative energy. I was not still like an energy worker, just like a tarot reader at the time. Then I met him, but his another version of him was like a fighting with other student. Only he was like a screaming, like a oh my god. I said, oh my god, he is Eric. Then I woke up. Maybe I went there to meet him to help or some.
Yeah.
Or maybe I am such a nice person that I would get the most disabilitating disease to make myself almost die, to help someone grow and become
maybe
a better spiritual person.
Yeah, this is
And
maybe.
both can be true.
And both
Yeah.
are true.
Yeah.
Because they're just no different. I mean, everybody has to do something when somebody else is suffering, right? You always have to extend yourself, become better, be more. If those situations don't happen, the probability of her doing channeling or going and experiencing extraterrestrials and black hole traveling, I think the percentage drops greater, to almost 1 or 0, that those kind of things would happen. It's the same with you, when you shared your information to me about your process to go into making your own course, if that didn't happen, if there was this other thing, maybe you wouldn't have been so motivated to make your own course, you'd have been maybe sitting in the hindsights and saying, oh, this is good enough,
Yeah. And that's why I always tell people, it's all about opening your heart, being open, following that. That's the path that's going to lead you to joy. And that's also the path that's going to lead you to completion and allow you to do what you're here to do.
Whatever
We're all here waiting for each other to be in our paths. And if we hesitate or we use fear or we don't allow ourselves to do what our heart is telling us to do, then I'm not going to meet Eric. I'm not going to meet NOCCI.
But don't you feel, Janise, like what stops people from doing whatever it is because they're not really connected to their excitement? When you're excited, you'll get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go skiing. No problem, But if you got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and change your kid's diaper or do something that you're not really super up for doing, then it makes it a lot harder to follow through with that. So really, excitement is such a key factor. And people, I think we've we're producing in ourselves so much fear and separation that it's very difficult or very challenging to just see what is exciting, you know. Maybe it's just having a drink of water, maybe it's lighting a candle, maybe it's just going for a walk or looking at the sun, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be some big spectacular thing that draws you in, you know. Like if you're in a dream, most people don't think about dreams unless it's powerful or detrimental in some way, you know. And then that's the next step, right? You go and you start going, oh wow, I'm interested in traveling or parallel universes or black holes. What is it? And you know, the process keeps moving, but the main factor is people aren't tapping into that excitement that's in our vicinity. You know, if you have 3 things to choose from in that second, you'll be motivated to do it. It's just your definition and the clarity that you have in making the choice, you know.
I would say that's a really good litmus test to see how far along you are in the path of opening your heart. When somebody tells you, what do you do for fun or what brings you joy? And if your answer is, or
that's already
what is joy? You know, like if that's your answer, then you definitely have more work to do. And you know, you need to just really do some work to get to that place, because everybody here deserves joy. Everybody here deserves to be connected with what brings them, or with what makes them feel passion about why you're here. Otherwise, we're just living and letting the clock tell us, you know, what we're doing. And I don't think that's in alignment with a lot of people's life path.
Yeah, but a lot of people are attuned to that life path because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Whether it doesn't matter how painful or how much suffering's involved, you know. People are comfort creatures, you know, and they're not interested in doing more unless they have somebody with fire in their rear end, you know.
Well, and that's sort of the difference between living in karma and living in dharma. When we live in karma, we expect things to kick us in the butt. We expect crashes and things to happen that make us move, but that's the slow way of growth. That is going to get us to an end point, but it's probably going to get us to a point where we feel compelled at the end of our life, when we have a choice to come back, we feel compelled to come back because we still have stuff to work on. But if we shift that and we say, I don't need to be driven by karma anymore, that's not in alignment. It's not in alignment with the energies happening around us now. So change that and live in flow, live in dharma. And that's all about living in your heart. And black holes.
In the black hole of my heart. You know?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so Lydia says here it's difficult to change sometimes because of worry of the unknown, right? And if you go to sleep with that kind of fear, then you really wouldn't go to sleep, because you'd be worried about going into a dream. That's totally unknown. You can't ever really know your dreams. And there's nothing that's really difficult, because if you're just moving towards it or taking steps, then change is always happening. So if you're making steps to move forward, the only thing that makes it not happen is you stopping the forward movement. Whether a destination, I mean, enlightenment is not going to happen overnight. Learning how to channel is not going to happen overnight. They take steps. And the only way you can have a failure or a difficult time is if you just don't pursue it, right? And that's just about having the focus and clear decisiveness to say, oh, I'm going to do this, no matter if there's hell or high waters or whatever. It brings me such joy. I'm just going to go for it. And worry, I mean, that's not trusting in the universe, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure that everybody recognizes that, they know that logically, but when you can listen to what you say, like change is hard, let's say, and then you can say, what would that sound like if I told my mind, if I changed that script, I changed that programming, then that would sound very different to you, and that would sound more like change is happening all the time. Like what you said, Eric, I'm happy with change. I embrace change. Change helps me develop, helps me overcome, like, so if you catch yourself using those phrases, just look for a way to turn that around and convince yourself otherwise.
Well,
Because right now,
let's give them two ways. So if you say that's a mind thing, right? You have a mind change and then you have a heart change. And if you ask yourself the question from your mind, you'd say, oh, mind, difficult. Oh, makes me scared, worried. But if you asked it from your heart, it would be a much different answer, right?
yeah.
If
It
you
would
just
be, do I want this? Do I want to learn how to channel? Yes, I want to learn how to channel.
it's a much different perspective if you just change the area from where you're asking the question in your physical form.
Love it.
Yeah. So what would you like to say?
I want to talk about the mark creating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So topic change.
About the multidimensional,
Okay. So
universe.
if you don't know all what is it? There's 3,200 people watching right now. Of all the 3,200 people watching right now, if you didn't know, we were changing topics from black holes to the mark. And a mark is kind of like a black hole for a lot of people because you don't actually know what's stopping you from moving forward in life. Obviously, like Janise just said, it's a story, it's a script. There's somewhere in your story, in your script, that you've attached yourself to that's stopping you from moving forward. And you can't really see it. So you need people like us, people that can read your file or channel or talk to you in a way that can help you shift your perspective and help to bring these fragmented parts. So we're all like mirrors, right? And if we break, all these pieces shatter off. But some of us have the impression that we've broken before we were born. And all these pieces are scattered when you come in. So you might have a chaotic life when you first are born or have some kind of very challenging situations. So, and then you grow up with these stories, these patterns that you're reinforcing. And then you need if you're focused and you're following your excitement, then you're drawn to people like Janise, NOCCI, or myself, or any one of the other people out there that can help you. And then you start asking questions. So a mark is something that Janise has developed through her psychic abilities and her channeling and her just longing to help people release these blind spots. And her and NOCCI are working together, and they've done 2 rounds, I think, with three rounds with a bunch of different Japanese people. But also I know that Janise works with her team in the English speaking sector. And so maybe we can share a little bit about Janice's process and the mark, if you're up for that.
And experience.
And your experiences and the dimensional things that are happening.
Amazing things happen, yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just jump into it.
Oh my gosh.
Finally, we can save the people.
Such a big topic because I first saw a mark on somebody. It wasn't really too long ago, and I didn't know what it was. It seemed the way that I saw it, it seemed very, let's just say, non-beneficial, demonic-like. And I thought, what is this thing? And I did attempt to clear it at the time, and I was able to clear some stuff. But then I went to some of my other spiritual colleagues, Kimbra and Melissa, who I work with a lot, and they help clear this mark with me.
Okay.
And so Kimbra was saying that I had discovered a way that the dark tracks people through lifetimes. So we went on this big kind of like research project to figure out, how did this happen? Why did it happen? That doesn't seem fair. We shouldn't be able to be tracked. I thought we were sovereign. I thought, we were all free. I thought every time we come into a new lifetime, we are completely pure and we're supposed to be free from any influences that we left in that lifetime. But what we found is that this type of karma just keeps wrapping around, and then it makes it very difficult for us to overcome in one lifetime all of the karma that has accumulated. So what we found out, and we also started to do clearings that we thought were going to clear the mark, but it turns out that it wasn't enough. So then we had to look at the people's dreams that we were clearing. We had to look at our own dreams. We had to channel a lot on it to find out how we needed to tweak what we were doing and what we needed to add. So we worked on this a lot, and we found the system that completely clears the mark. And you want that mark to be cleared because it was placed on us unfairly. And there are a lot of universal contracts that we make that are fair, even if it seems unfair. So, for example, deciding to be abused, that seems really unfair. However, a lot of times when that happens, it's because you've chosen to help somebody be the perpetrator so that they can heal from what they're doing, or they can experience it from the other side. We don't know. There's all kinds of reasons that this happens. But for the mark, it is not fair and in alignment that we are, that things follow us through lifetimes that are, how do I say this, that cause us to think that things are happening to us that actually aren't. It is not fair that the dark and the gray beings are allowed to tap into our minds and trick us. They have that special knowledge, but when we come to Earth, part of that is being veiled from a lot of knowledge, veiled from a lot of pieces of ourselves. So we came into Earth accepting that the dark and the gray could tap into us and trick us and do all kinds of things to make us think that things were happening that aren't. Like they will cause dreams that are or they will cause what feels like dreams, but they're simulations that make fetuses and very young children feel and believe that they're being abused, like terribly abused. And then they will say, well, if you agree to work with us, then we will take all of this away from you and you won't experience it anymore. So then that's what the young child does. But the young child has no idea what they're getting into. It is not fair. It's not fair. It's not a valid contract. It would be like a lawyer coming to a 5-year-old and saying, oh, we need you to sign this contract. And when you sign it, you have to do exactly what it says. Well, the 5-year-old doesn't understand that contract. So that 5-year-old signature doesn't mean anything. But what the dark was saying is when somebody that, say, like NOCCI would travel into the astral and try to end this for somebody, the dark would say, we have a contract. Look, they signed it. We can do this to them. And so then the thought is, oh, okay, well, it's a contract. It doesn't seem fair, but it's a contract. But we didn't read the fine print. We didn't read what the contract or how the contract was obtained. So anyway, through a series of heavy protections and clearings that me, Melissa, and Kimbra do, we can completely get rid of this mark. What is interesting news, and I need to tune into this when I can, but Kimbra also said that we are building this system of clearing the mark, and there will be another person or group of people that can do it later. But right now, they are very limited on who they will allow to clear the mark, because it is essentially clearing this agreement from all past lifetimes, which are actually just different dimensions, right? And all future, and it clears it through that person's entire lineage. So it's really a big deal, right? We don't want to do anything that is against anybody's free will, because that's not what we're about. However, part of the clearing is about putting a layer of, well, I call it an accessory. Putting an accessory on everybody that goes through the clearing that is permanent. This permanent accessory is the idea that we can opt to telepathic and mind tapping into people, tapping into our minds. We get to opt into it. So the dark no longer has the ability to use their tricks to get into our minds, to pull us into a simulation. And they no longer have that contract, so they can't see us at all. They cannot pursue us. They don't even know that we exist anymore. So that was a lot, I know, but yeah, I just felt like, oh my gosh, I needed to say all that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel bad about it. You just share
I don't feel bad.
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't take up any time that wasn't supposed to be for you. It's all there. So feel free to share with whatever you think is necessary for people, because it's what everybody doesn't realize, I think, and they could be helped by, is that everybody's attuned to a special frequency. They have their frequency in their body. They're attuned to somebody like Janise. They're attuned to somebody like NOCCI. They're attuned to somebody like me. And then whatever it is that brings them to us or us to them, however the meeting is, it's already a coincident, right? Where we're both in agreement to show up to help each other, however it is, And I don't want to say, what I want to say is everything is supported. There's nothing that is not going to turn out for the best, and all this is like an experiment on remembering, and however dramatic it is for people, there's always somebody out there that can support you. And that's what I think is the deepest message from what Janise is sharing with everybody out there, is that if you have something that you feel like you're attuned to her vibration and the understanding about that mark, then yeah, that's excitement. And then you should follow that and delve into it deeper, research it, ask yourself, feel it out for yourself and find out how that works for you. Because if it's not that opens the doorway to another thing of excitement. So wherever your excitement finishes, there's always going to be more excitement, because the universe is always sending to us. It's never not sending to us. We're like a magnet, and all this stuff, all the wonderful things are flowing to us. But if you're in a low vibration, then you get those low frequency things that are always flowing to us. There's everything always flowing to us. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, what are you in tune for? Are you in tune for a hard ride? Well, then you're going to be focused on things that bring you down: TV shows, news media, books, people, environment, food. All those things are factors, right? Girls?
Yeah. And when people get this mark clearing, which, as you would call it, Eric, a permission slip to change, to not be affected by these energies anymore.
Right.
Huge things happen.
Exactly.
Opportunities that they didn't see before are suddenly there.
Yeah.
And did you want to say something?
Yes.
Okay, we'll have everybody just raise your hand.
Important thing happened, because I experienced, myself. I had a dream after mark clearing, Can I talk about this?
It's your show.
It's
You can
okay?
do whatever you want.
Yes, your show.
Yeah,
Do it.
last my promotion, I was very, like emphasize. I was very, like passionate, but with my passion to help people. That like
You were excited.
I was very excited
Yeah.
that I was, like without protection, I was, sharing my voice to wake up about the darkness too. I was talking on the, public a lot. Then, dark side found me, Then I met dark in my astral travel. Then I asked Janise for channeling what happened to me. Then she found out the mark, Then Janise and Kimbra and Melissa, how do you say?
Work together.
Work together to remove my mark.
Mhm.
I didn't know about mark because I'm working already as light worker, but even me, I had also contract. I didn't know that. Then after this mark clearing, 2 days later, I had a dream. The dark was looking for me. Then I was hiding in my house. I was child with other two children. I was in house and I saw exactly, like a lizard people. Lizard people was looking for me. Then I, then I told Janise. Then Janise said, "Oh, it was like a mark cleared. After clearing mark, right?" And also not only me, but my clients already over 30 people already got mark clearing. Many people reported that they had a dream. They had a dream that like one of them. She said she had she met the like a half angel, half like a dark. The like a half angel, half darkness brought her like a golden egg with contract. Then if you sign this contract, I can give you this like a
Fortune, like
fortune,
golden egg.
golden eggs.
Did you understand that, Janise?
Yes.
One of our
Okay.
clients. Okay, half angel,
Half
half
angel,
demon,
half
or
demon.
like a
Yeah, she had a dream after mark clearing. So yeah, wow, this amazing.
Yeah. And like the way that I see it is if somebody is having a dream after the mark clearing that's showing that they have awareness of what's happening, I believe that they are meant to be part of the ascension, the part of the ascension that helps people up to a higher level, that helps people move themselves up in vibration. And also, like, we're not going to have memories of the choice of having the mark unless it's important for us to know that. So I think for you, NOCCI, and for that person, and for several people who have gotten the mark, it's important to remember that choice. I had a dream that was showing that I remembered the fall into darkness, and my body was remembering it. So when I saw that dream, I realized, okay, I've gotten rid of my own mark, but now my body needs to be reminded of that fall, but I need to be able to let that go because the mark is completely gone, but the memory of it can be important for whatever reason, something for you to overcome in this lifetime.
Yeah, wow. And also after the mark clearing, I could how to say, my channeling is more clear, like some veil has been removed, then I could see some like a chain, like a with my third eye. Somebody, for example, my client every month I'm doing live channeling session with her. I couldn't see that like a chain, something chain. After mark clearing, I start seeing another like a chain or like a how do you say
Handcuffs.
yeah. It was I had some veil
Yeah.
by contract, but after clearing I could see more, like a revealed everything.
Something more was
Something more,
revealed.
and also more opportunity. Of course, more opportunity came to me. For example, collaboration with Team Tactics from Gaia, and also many Energy Healer of the Year, like awards. Many opportunities. And you also, got many opportunities. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Big
yeah.
things change when you let the mark go.
Yeah, so very important. Yes. So, and how people can how people can
What?
Get the mark cleared.
get mark clearing.
How can
Well,
people? Yes.
if they're working with you, Nochi, you do allow that you kind of work with us with that, so they can contact you. They can certainly contact us directly, but I don't know if you want to. What do you want to share about that?
Yeah, and if you speak English, you can go
Okay.
directly Janice. I put the Janice website in description. Yeah, if you are interested in, I recommend everybody. Or I can say everybody has mark. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Everybody
we
does.
didn't know that at first if everybody had the mark, but what we were told is that there's either the mark or there's that you're constantly being pursued. So you're constantly having dreams that you're being chased or people are looking for you,
Mm.
or you don't, or it's like you're just kind of open. So you're open and you can start to be pursued in this lifetime. So it's like if you clear the mark, it's actually clearing all of these different aspects that could cause you to be affected by the dark or the gray. And I wanted to say also, one of the things that happens when you get this clearing is that, and I think this is why your channeling opened up, is that you are now cutting off the ability for the dark to tap into your mind. So that's one of them. And so the noise interference from when you channel goes away significantly. The other thing is that there's some language that I apply in the clearing that the dark has to reveal themselves if they are trying to do something to you. So that's why people will see in their dreams things like pursuers, or they can see the dark and be aware of it, but the dark has to show up the way that they are. They can't trick you anymore. So it's just like so much is opened up to you and cleared from you that you just never knew that you had that because you were born with it.
Wow. That's so big project, global project. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's your guys's path and it's your visions and how you interpret things, and they're all true. There's nothing not true about it for you guys. It doesn't mean that it has to be true for other people, right? It doesn't mean that everybody has to interpret a mark as something like this or like that. It's just a feeling. So don't feel threatened, don't feel fear. But if you have this connection, if you have this urge inside that you think, wow, that might be something for me, then that's your excitement. That's your field talking to you and saying, wow, the interest could be really here if it's new. So explore that and allow yourself to go in there, because again, everybody contains everything. You know, if you contain everything, that means you're creating the stories, you're creating those things, and you can stop those things. But if you feel that the permission slip would be to work with Janise, NOCCI, or myself, then yeah, access it by all means. You know, there's nothing, it's like fear. You know, when you have fear to do something and then you take that challenge and you overcome it, where did the fear go? It didn't disappear. It didn't jump out of you and go somewhere. It's just that you raised your frequency and you shifted into fearlessness, and that's still within you, you know. So if you can do it by yourself, fantastic. If you can do it with a permission slip through somebody else, fantastic. If you don't feel like engaging it, also fantastic, because you're here forever and you're an infinite being, and infiniteness doesn't have time. You know, it's just a matter of, do you have excitement to do something? So allow yourself to go in there and just explore and work with people that are wonderful and have devoted themselves to special skills and abilities like Janise and NOCCI and myself. And yeah, get the most out of it and enjoy yourself. Girls, what do you think? We're almost out of time here. We're over. Janise has got some next appointment probably lined up by 5 course. So everybody will put down at the bottom Janice's contact and website and all that stuff for everybody in English that wants it. And there's some Japanese people that will also put the contact information for Mark and anything else that they want to get a hold of us for. So much love and respect to everybody out there. Thank you, Janise, for joining us and being our hub. We really appreciate it. She's sharing with her experiences. And everybody out there, we thank you for joining us. Until our next meeting next week and at the same time, we'll see you again.
See you again. Thank you, Janise.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.